Welcome to the Mobile Home Park Mastery Podcast, where you will learn how to identify, evaluate, negotiate, perform due diligence on, finance, turn around, and operate mobile home parks. And now, here is your host, the fifth largest mobile home park owner in the United States, Frank Rolfe.
Wikipedia defines woke as alert to injustice in society. But as we all know right now, in our society, woke means anything but that. In fact, woke typically means creating more injustice than it means solving. This is Frank Rolfe, the Mobile Home Park Mastery Podcast. We're going to talk about wokeness and mobile home parks. Let's first point out that many businesses use this entire woke vision as a great way to advance their corporate profitability. Now, the first thing they do is they'll put a woke spin on things they already did. Doesn't cost them a penny to do so. So just pretend like it's some great additional attribute. I was in a restaurant recently and they had a big sign on the wall of the restaurant saying that all of their wines are sustainably grown. How in the world do you sustainably grow wine? I live down in the Missouri wine country, down here on the very tip of the Ozarks. Many wineries down here. And wine is pretty easy on the growing side. You basically grow grape bushes and you harvest the grape bushes annually. And if you go out to a wine farm, you won't find much excitement going on in the farming part of it. It's all in the process of making the wine, but not in the growing of it. But here's a restaurant trying to pretend that their wines, which is true pretty much of all wines, that the wines are sustainably grown. And then other times I'll go to a hotel and I'll check into the hotel and I'll see a little sign in the room and it says, if you don't need your towel washed, then hang it up in the bathroom. But if you need it washed, throw it on the floor. Because you see, we no longer wash your towels unless you let us know, because we're trying to save the environment, trying to keep the amount of soap we put in the sewer lines down. Well, you know that's a ridiculous excuse. They're trying to save money on not washing as many towels. Every time they wash towels, it costs the money in water and hot water and soap. So most businesses use woke, not truly because they care, not in the least, but because it's a way to get higher sales from people who are more left-leaning and all very woke conscious. But mobile home parks, we're the real deal. If you want to get woke, we can take you on toe for toe, eye for eye on wokeness and beat almost any other business. Let's go through why mobile home parks, if you really want to talk woke, how we are at the top of the pile. Number one, we are truly sustainable. We're not the wine country with the sustainable growing of the grapes. No, we are actually a sustainable group. We are the only people in the world that can provide affordable housing that is not subsidized. If you watch those C-SPAN hearings a few years ago of Congress, when they suddenly appeared horrified that our affordable housing programs in America are not sustainable, the Section 8 is nothing more than a handout from the U.S. government to apartment owners. And then they feigned this, oh, I never knew that. Well, give me a break. We all know that. All of affordable housing in the United States only exists because the government covers the full amount of rent and you, the taxpayer, pay for it. Not with mobile home parks. We are cheap enough with our product that people can actually pay for it who even earn such things as minimum wage or in any other form of assistance program. Also, for many mobile home parks, one or more utilities are private. They're actually homegrown right on the property, whether it's well, water, or septic. As a result, we don't even take up any city utility capabilities or limitations. So we're pretty much the most sustainable form of housing you will find in the United States. But we're also green. How are we green? What does green mean? Green is this kind of catchword for anything that's kind of environmentally friendly. So in the whole green space, we have to be green because our homes are very small. So our total utility cost with mobile home parks and mobile homes is a fraction of what it is in typical residential homes and developments. Instead of 2,500 and 3,500 square foot homes, most of our homes are under 1,000, some as small as under 500 square feet. So clearly, when it comes to green, oh yeah, well, we're as green as any other form of housing you will ever find, not only in the United States, but in the world at large. Also, because our homes are small and built in factories, we have tiny amounts of construction cost and use of such items as lumber. Go to any mobile home factory in the United States, you'll see they typically knock out 7 to 8 sections a day. That means 7 to 8 single wides, or it might mean 4 double wides. But the bottom line is we produce in our industry literally a home an hour on an 8-hour workday, when the usual stick-built home they labor over for months and months and months, using up all types of resources that mobile homes don't use. So the bottom line is, when it comes to the product itself, when you want to talk green, you won't find anything that's greener than mobile homes. And as long as we're talking environmental friendliness, because that's another way people like to phraseology it, is environmentally friendly, our industry creates no pollution. None. Zero. Zilch. No, I'm sorry, Nike can't truly say that. They create pollution in the processes of building sneakers, but no, we don't create any pollution. Also, we don't really have any irrigation. All the time, places point fingers at those who irrigate their lawns as using all of our wonderful water to do nothing more than grow green grass. Well, in most mobile home parks, you'll find no irrigation systems at all. Also, no chemicals are used. So we are not an industry where we use chemicals. We don't make chemicals. So as far as the environment goes, the environment is just totally at ease with a mobile home park. Mother Nature just could not be happier than having us sitting on top of the earth. Also equally important as an industry, and this is a very important item, we truly give back. We're not like Bombas that sells you socks, and then with every order of X dollars, we're going to give away a sock at a cost of Bombas of probably what? A quarter, a nickel, a penny? In our industry, we give back thousands of dollars a year to our residents in the following format. Number one, all the time we are fixing residents' homes when needed for the general betterment of the community at large. When people cannot afford to fix their own homes, mobile home park owners step in and they do the job for them. So in that way, we are constantly giving back to the residents at no cost to them whatsoever, in a quantity and a proportion much, much higher based on sales than any other American corporation that I know. We even do entire events focused on nothing but giving back, such as spring cleanup events. So we hold actual events where we spend our own dollars to not only beautify the property, but to help build that sense of community. We're also often forging situations when we buy these properties for people who don't have their rent current. Well, we will forgive the past rent. Do you know any other business that does that? I don't. I can't imagine Coca-Cola, when the restaurant changes accounts over, that Coke doesn't say, wait a minute, you still owe us for that delivery of Coke from last month. But in mobile home parks, frequently that's what does occur. When you buy the part from mom and pop, and you may have someone behind on the rent a year, 2 years, 5 years, because mom and pop never worked the whole idea of collecting rent or no pay, no stay, we often just forgive it. There's no point in chasing after the customer. It wasn't part of our budget. We could try and collect it, but typically mobile home park owners give back, realize the person was let to be put in a bad position by mom and pop, and we just let it go. In fact, in general with mobile home parks, all the time we're bringing these old parks back to life. There's no greater give back to the residents than pumping the needed money into the infrastructure, improving the management, and making their quality of life higher. And that goes for not only the residents in the mobile home park, but the entire surrounding community. All those stick-built homes, retail centers, and things that look onto the mobile home park, they are also overjoyed when we redo the entries and all of the quality of the property inside. So when it comes to giving back as a company, you will never find any group that gives back more than mobile home park owners. The bottom line to it is we are the real deal on wokeness. We are the folks who actually deliver on all the tenets of the entire woke movement, but we don't talk about it much. And most importantly, we get no respect for anything we do. We're constantly criticized for raising rents, even in tiny, tiny motions, $15, $20, at a time when apartments raise theirs hundreds of dollars. We get no credit for that. Nike and other groups, well, they're all over the media as wonderful people because they might put some new woke adjective onto something in an ad campaign. Yet mobile home park owners, day in, day out, we do all those initiatives, and yet we never get any due respect or notoriety for it. Kind of a sad situation and kind of a sad world right now. Of course, things run in cycles, and I'm pretty sure that the entire term woke will disappear into the ethereal universe in the not too far into the future. People will move on to things they find more important at the moment. But let it be known here and now, if you want to talk about woke, well, we can out-woke anybody. This is Frank Roth, the Mobile Home Park Mastery Podcast. Hope you enjoyed this. Talk to you again soon.
Thank you for listening to the Mobile Home Park Mastery Podcast. Be sure to visit us at mhpmastery.com to subscribe to the show, read our show transcriptions, and access all of our great information on mobile home park investing.